Hello, fellow record keepers. Today, I will release my latest video on fascist expansionism. These all directly led into World War II. First, we will start off with the horrendous 1931 Nanjing Massacre. The Imperial Army of Japan had invaded China, and they were committing atrocities on a daily basis, mainly mass sexual violence. Thousands of Chinese women, young and old, were sexually assaulted by the Japanese army. To the Japanese, this was a sport. I won't get into the details, but it was horrific. Innocent civilians were butchered. Between 200,000 and 300,000 civilians were killed in Nanjing alone. Eventually, it was estimated that in total 8 million Chinese citizens would be killed by Imperial Japan. The saddest thing is, most modern-day Japanese officials deny Nanjing and all war crimes committed by their nation. The horrific ethnic cleansing of Chinese citizens by the Japanese army is considered genocidal by many. Leading up to and during the course of World War II, Imperial Japan would commit war crimes, hate crimes, mass sexual violence, starving prisoners of war, human experimentation, and cannibalism. Yes, Japan has committed some of the worst atrocities in human history. Next, I would like to talk about fascist Italy's invasion of Ethiopia, a nation who Italy had previously went to war with in 1895 and 1896, in which Ethiopia won. But this time, in 1935, Italy was not giving up so easily. Eventually, after grueling battles, fascist Italy conquered the African nation of Ethiopia. The Italians drove Haile Selassie, the Ethiopian emperor, into exile and occupied the African nation. Mussolini also had Italy leave the League of Nations, which was the precursor/predecessor to the United Nations. To make matters worse, Mussolini invaded Albania in 1937. The Italian fascists had a fork attack on Albania, as you can see in the center picture, and clearly the Albanian civilians were not liking it. This inspired people to take up arms and join anti-fascist militias and communist parties, such as the Party of Labour of Albania, which would eventually be the political party of Enver Hoxha, an Albanian communist revolutionary and proponent of women's rights, but later on a dictatorial leader. Anyways, Mussolini's fascist army overwhelmed the Albanian resistance fighters, leading Albania to surrender to fascist Italy. In 1936, Nazi Germany annexed the Rhineland, a coal-rich area that the Treaty of Versailles declared a neutral buffer zone, which is an area designed to keep two or more areas apart. Now, Hitler being Hitler just didn't want to listen to the treaty, so he and his Nazi goons annexed it. If you're wondering what annex means, I can fix that for you. Annexing is to conquer or absorb another nation, usually with no direct violence or bloodshed. So basically, the Nazis pull up with a bunch of scary guns and say, "Hey, Rhineland, you belong to us now." Of course, at the time, Nazi Germany had one of the strongest up-and-coming militaries in the world, so nobody wanted to mess with them. 2 years later, in 1938, the Nazis annexed Austria, once again showing their might and intimidating another country into joining the Third Reich, or Third Empire. They called it the Third Empire, as the Second Empire was Imperial Germany, and the First Reich was the Holy Roman Empire, which was like the OG European Union, but an incest-filled monarchy. Anyways, I was getting sidetracked, but the point was the Third Reich was expanding fast and at a dangerous rate, and the world powers, Britain, France, America, and the Soviet Union, were all ignoring it.